Well, happy Sunday fun day. Good to be with you, Meteorologist Mike Prangley. Let's take the glasses off, just you and I, just enjoying our Sunday fun day, blessed in so many ways, and spending some time with family this weekend. And yesterday was funny. We're doing some shopping. I had the daughters with me, the wife, and we're going around, and I just enjoy. I say, hey, we got to get here from point A to B to C. Hey, we got to hurry up and get this done because we got to get home before the storms come. And again, it's just been picking our spots, running those errands, and that's why we're here on Weather Impact Live, where we can just update the timing, the latest timing on the storms, what you can expect, and if we'll get to see that beautiful once in a full moon kind of night tonight. But let's start with you. All right, so first of all, thanks for joining me, Meteorologist Mike Prangley, Weather Impact Live. We do these updates here frequently, and if there's any storms out there or flooding, usually we're right back on here. So make sure your neighbors and friends know about our First Coast News app. You can just watch me on your phone these days. You're heading to the beach, and if you're like me out and about yesterday, I'm watching the First Coast News app. I'm looking at the radars. I'm saying, okay, this rain will be here in about 20 minutes. And you're getting frequent updates from a human rather than a phone, really, and that's why we're here at First Coast News. So your 24/7 human weather app. Here we are, and I tell you what, as we look at the Weather Watcher page, I still say it's the best on earth. So you look out toward Fernandina this morning. We said best beach time, best brunch time, best boating time, shopping time. Again, earlier the better. And today's going to be a little different. It's so cool here when you're forecasting on the First Coast. The thunderstorm setup is totally different every single day. We got the Florida sea breezes that work in, the convergence zone, it all changes. It's amazing. So today, what is nature telling us? Well, it's telling us it's the calm before the storm. So you take a look at Bob with that beautiful picture there. We had so many great pictures come in. This is the deal. We're going to get the beach time in. We said earlier the better. The one thing I'm seeing here, the trends outside, I was leaning toward these storms lasting much longer than yesterday. Yesterday was more of a quick-hitting shower or storm out there. Today, more of those very slow, sloth-like storms like we saw on Friday. And we know what happened Friday. We had some vehicles caught in the water. We had folks stranded in Talleyrand and Riverside, and it was not a good deal. So remember, this afternoon, these storms reminiscent of Friday, where once they pop over you, they could sit for several hours with some heavy rain. In fact, we were getting some rain amounts of 2 inches per hour and then some. Right now, everything's set up like that this afternoon. Yesterday was more of a quick-hitting, gusty storm or two type setup. Didn't last too long. Today, totally opposite. So notice the rain chances start to move up to 60% by 2 o'clock, and they stay pretty high. They're even at 10 o'clock, a 60% chance. So our big weather window for our weather impact, and it would be flooding and lightning, my big two today, would be in a big window between 2 p.m. and at least 8 p.m. Really could extend that to about 10 p.m., but really the heaviest rain in that 6 hours. Now, take a look at the UV index. It's hot. It's humid. It's all this tropical moisture continuing to feed these storms that form day after day. So we're getting that little beach time in before the storms fire up this afternoon. And then notice some fishing time. Captain Alvarez has been out on the boat. Those warmer water temperatures up near 80 doing wonders. The bluefish are loving it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't think I've ever caught a fish that big. All right, so today we can get those boats back to the dock hopefully by mid to late afternoon. If you're going to another big event, we got the Sporting Jacks, the men's soccer kicking off at 2 p.m. Now this is one I would have moved up a little bit. I guess we'll take the ponchos. We'll keep watching west, but those storms could fire up pretty quickly once we get between 3 and 4 o'clock out at UNF. Hey, it'll cool us down. I mean, 88 degrees, that 88 feeling more like 98 to 100, and then we'll drop into the 70s to low 80s. So again, for your big events, I'd say the soccer's huge today out at Hodges Stadium, but make sure you take the ponchos and your weather apps, your First Coast News apps. Right now it's quiet. All right, and then what we're seeing here, let's see what we got going on. So, you got a little bit of a bubbling in the atmosphere here, maybe some light shower activity forming near the coast here. But at this point, Brunswick, Fernandina, looking pretty dry, and there it is. And this is what we're dealing with. Dry most of the morning, and then as we zoom in a little bit more, we are watching these showers literally pop overhead in the heat and humidity. It's just it's like a tropical jungle out there. So as we go through the afternoon, we're going to see more of these pop-up showers all across the First Coast. So we'll be ready for them. But really the big line of storms, like we saw yesterday, all right, they're going to form to our west, all right, and they're going to be moving west-northwest to southeast. So as we look at the flow in the atmosphere, I'll put the little arrows in here. We're going to continue to watch this area fill in to the northwest and move off slowly to the southeast. So we got the storm flow. Keep an eye to the west-northwest for those storms. Weather impact alert 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. These storms a little different. We got lighter winds in the atmosphere today, and we've got 1 to 2 inches of rain, if not more. Some of that could occur in an hour, so just keep that in mind. It's very tough to forecast rain amounts when you've got this much saturation going on in the atmosphere. So yeah, of course, we've got backup plans. We're gonna slow it down on the roadways, but we can't take that for granted. You know, common sense is not so common. As we found out Friday, folks trying to cross the water that was covering roads and they got stranded. So again, if there are any road closing signs, please heed those and never cross roads covered by water. So we'll be streaming here on First Coast News Plus, of course. And the reason why there's concern, well, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Well, many areas have already seen 2-3 inches of rain. Now you see the airport right now. We finally got in the above average category for the year, for the month, up near 6 inches. And if you go back to March, our rainfall's about normal. We've been talking on this show saying, hey, we're going to bust out of this drought this summer. We're in a totally different pattern. So the one thing, it's still going to take some time because it was such a severe drought. But the great thing is, based on the rain we've seen across the area and the widespread nature of it, it's put a big damper on the fire season. I don't see the soils drying out and the kindling. It became basically, our soils became like kindling. I don't see it drying out again like we saw. Even if we stay in this drought maybe a few weeks longer, maybe it tries to extend later into June, trying to go into July. I don't see that, but we do know that the fire season right now is just being crushed. That's good. We want the fire season to continue to just be vanquished and suppressed here, and that's the good news in this. But now we'll take care of the drought. Now we'll keep the totals of the rainfall, watching our plants, our lawns, our water restrictions, and the burn ban. Still got to heed all of that. But right now, we are improving rapidly across the First Coast. We take a look at the big picture. These are just models. I was circling that flow in the atmosphere, and as we go into 2-3 o'clock, we're going to see these showers and storms become more widespread, heavier. Let's play 2, 3, 4 o'clock. There you go. All right, so what do we get out of this? It helps a bit, but the one thing we're getting out of this is these are going to be some slow-moving storms that actually what we call train over the same spot. So it's like a train car. So notice, for instance, on the south side, Mandarin Road, we'll have one train car move through by 4 o'clock. There it is, 5, 6 o'clock. Another train car of heavy rain moves through. Looks pretty nasty, doesn't it? You got the reds and oranges. But again, there's just such very light wind in the atmosphere. I'm not looking for severe weather down trees. Every weather impact's different as well. Okay, this one is really for the localized flooding and lightning today, not those gusty storms. We had a couple warnings yesterday. Big news, forecast rainfall, of course. I said really the fire season, we're just putting that fire season hopefully out for good here by the end of this weekend because, it goes officially until later in June, early July. But the soils, top 8 inches of the soils have really responded nicely to all of the rain we've seen over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And we take a look at those rain totals. Boy, coming in at 1, 2 inches plus. These are just averages. So that's why, a lot of times we show the numbers, but we know better. That 1.89 inches in St. Augustine, there's going to be some spots that could see that in an hour, and there's going to be some areas with a lot more rain. For instance, Riverside, 5.89 inches of rain in one sitting, and that was on Friday. So, we gave you the airport rain totals, 2 to 3 inches so far, but there's been some spots near 6 inches, and that's what could happen again today. So that's what we're keeping our guard up for. And notice we're right near the bullseye. That front that's just been laying across South Georgia is just still there. We've got a tropical flow that we've been tracking all the way down into Central America, so plenty of moisture. So here it is, your number one impact, Jacksonville. This is a flood risk. It's a 1 out of 4 scale. Don't worry too much about the terminology. That can throw you off. It throws meteorologists off. I mean, it needs changed. Okay, so a 2 out of 4 risk. is significant. That's what you need to know. That means there could be some flash flooding. And the big thing is here, you've got the yellows and the greens, and it could happen in a hurry. So even though it's quiet now, that will change. Big 7-day forecast. All right, I want to show you this before we take a brief break. All right, today's the weather impact alert day. There's our high of 88, 70% chance of rain. We'll see a little bit of a pattern change Monday, and then Tuesday, likely another weather impact alert. I'm about to send the weather team a note here. We could see some strong storms. So we're going to transition from the flood threat today, a little lull in the action tomorrow. Okay, so you'll notice it'll be drier. And then by Tuesday, ramping those storms back up. But yeah, don't fall asleep on this pattern, because that Tuesday front's going to be a real strong, powerful front. That's a very late season cold front coming through, and look what it does to the temperatures. We drop from 91 back into the 80s, upper 70s for highs, and we've got like 2-3 very comfortable days on the way. So we're going to take a look at that. We've got 3 more stormy days to get through. We're going to time out the storms. Again, today's more 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. They could even linger later in the evening, so it's going to be tough to get some of that dry time like we saw yesterday. Tomorrow, different, would be one of the drier days, even though a few scattered storms, and then Tuesday ramping back up. We'll time all of that out. We'll talk about the blue moon, your tropical update, and so much more. We're just getting started. I'll see you in a couple.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiaAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson, Good Morning Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News, weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun.
Woo!
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living Live. Weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
You are looking live here on our Weather Impact Alert Sunday, downtown Jacksonville. Beautiful start. We had a gorgeous sunrise. We shared on Good Morning Jacksonville, but then we said we'll get the heating. We're going to get the building clouds. And if there's a change today, the storms are going to try to pop up a little earlier, okay? So most of us waited till later in the day and the evening. These are coming a little earlier. And once they get here, unfortunately, it looks like, yes, they'll continue for several hours with off and on downpours. Some areas could see more than 1-2 inches of rain per hour. So if you're running errands, I was out trying to beat the rain yesterday, and nature was pretty nice most of the day, but today could be a much different story, where we're talking about several hours of rain instead of that quick hitting gusty storm type scenario we saw yesterday. So Katrina, I want to thank him, our wonderful producer, director. He does it all, giving us these beautiful shots. And then, of course, there's boaters. We showed the big bluefish here. The bluefish are biting at the Volano Beach boat ramp. It's still busy. And all the boaters were getting out early this morning because we are expecting those showers and storms not only for inland areas, but to reach the beaches and the coast. So this is a rain event for all of us, like we've seen over the last several days. And Volano Beach would be one of the areas we're going to watch for those storms by maybe as early as 3 o'clock. So you see on the screen, weather impact alert officially 2 to 8 o'clock. That'll be the 6-hour period of the heaviest rain across the first coast. All right, so a great look there. And then, of course, one of my favorite places, there's nothing like driving down to St. Augustine, walking around the fort on a Sunday. Oh, wow. Yeah, so you can see St. George Street here. We got some sunshine, but that sunshine, yeah, that's going to help fire up some instability and some very heavy rain, especially even for St. Augustine by later this afternoon and this evening. So I want to thank Katrina for those shots right now. We can confirm it with radar right now. So we got some ground truth. We got the visuals, and then there's our Doppler radar. We're starting to see a little bit more pop-ups around here in Duval. These are more on the light side, but it's not going to take long before these become some full-fledged gully washers. And when we say gully washers, that's the heavy stuff. That's when we get that 1-2 inches of rain per hour. But for now, you can see from Fernandina to Mayport, there's a few showers popping there. And we'll continue to watch that. A little street level mapping. No big storms or lightning out there yet, but on Jasmine Street, watching beautiful Fernandina right now, starting to see some of those showers pop. And it's going to be one of several rounds of rain Fernandina. This is not just a one and done like yesterday. Down toward Ponte Vedra. There's our St. Augustine. Okay, so verifying the nice quiet weather, but we're going to keep an eye to the west. All right, see what happened down in southern Putnam County. See how these cells kind of percolate and they quickly fire up and then they move east. And it's not going to take long for this to happen as we head through the afternoon. So as we come back, weather impact alert 2 to 8 o'clock. There it is, widespread rain, 1 to 2 inches rain, localized flooding. And we are streaming as always. Now, let's get to the full moon. You ready for a little change? Are we going to get to see the full moon? It's a blue moon officially. So Susan, yeah, it doesn't look too blue. Of course, the blue moon not named after the blue color unless you have a volcanic eruption in the forecast. And I don't have any volcanic eruptions near us here on the first coast. So what we're getting are these beautiful images of some orange hues, pinks, and yellows with our official full blue moon that came in this morning at 4:45. And that's that thick atmosphere, the air you can wear, that haze, that moonlight going through an extra layer of it, of all that thick atmosphere, giving it that beautiful pop and that beautiful color. So if we're going to see this like we saw this morning, we had a beautiful moon set. Of course, that was at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. on my way to work, something like that. I lost track. We saw a beautiful moon set. Tonight, the night owls will get to see another beautiful display. It looks like once we get into after 11 o'clock, midnight, and then first thing tomorrow morning would be the better chance to see it because we have a lot of storms on the way. So, Christine, yeah, for those that have not had a good look at that beautiful full blue moon, just verifying how gorgeous it is. You see a few of those clouds in front of it. And basically the full moon, it's called a blue moon this month because it's the second full moon the same month, and officially it came in at 4:45 this morning. And then we have a moon rise at 9:06 p.m. So even though there's going to be a good deal of showers, cloudiness around the first coast, just keep in mind, once we get to 9, 10 o'clock, the storm should slowly wind down. And as they wind down, keep your head up. That'll probably be when I try to get that last dog walk in before bed. You know, we're finally getting a break in the rain. And there should be some beautiful glimpses of that full blue moon. So the later we go tonight, the better chance you can see it. So, of course, it's not blue, but the second full moon in the same month. So good stuff there. And really the original definition was the third of 4 full moons in a season. So just in case you're wondering. We take a look at our forecast heat index. Reason why I'm pretty confident we've got a real gully washer on the way. A 100 heat index. We've got oppressive humidity in the 70s both today, tomorrow, Tuesday. And if you're looking for a break, everybody's saying, can we get a nap? Now, we were wishing for the rain so long. Now we're ready for the break. Okay, I get it. Ready for a break in the heat, humidity, and the rain. Right now, let's look at the moisture. This is one of my favorite things, the PWs. Really, it's measuring all the atmospheric moisture that goes into feeding storms. And the deep greens really can come out to like 2 inches of rain is what the atmosphere is holding. But when you get these storms that come over the same spot over and over again, they're actually picking up and scooping up even more moisture. So just keep in mind for budding meteorological students out there, PW of 2.1 doesn't mean you can only have 2.1 inches of rain. Look what we saw on Friday with almost 6 inches, well, only 6 inches of rain in Riverside. We're still in that pattern, light winds, just saturated atmosphere, and you can track it all the way to Central America. But look what I see. Look at the lighter colors. We do have a little bit of a change. You ready for a little change? There it is. We've got drier air coming in by Wednesday. Now it's Wednesday, so that's why I have to keep the rain showers and storms in the forecast, at least for the next 2 to 3 days. So if you're just joining us on our Big Weather Impact Live, it's quiet now, but things are really going to change in a hurry. These storms are going to just linger, and they're going to go over the same spots. That includes St. Augustine, Sawgrass, Clay County, watching Middleburg, back to the west side, St. George, Georgia, and then getting a break. But that break may not come until very late this evening and overnight tonight, not before another 1 to 2 inches of rain plus across the area. Tomorrow, different story. All right, so we're talking about that whatever's left of that front finally dissipating, lifting out. And we've got these leftover, more renegade, more widely scattered showers, and they'd come right around lunchtime in the morning, lunchtime, a little earlier tomorrow, and notice not quite as heavy. So Monday's more of a lull day, okay? So we're good Monday, but Tuesday's the day to watch. And did you see those temperatures? Some models showed 90s tomorrow, so I did increase the forecast high to 90. By Tuesday afternoon, that's the day to watch for our next round of storms. So that's why we increase it back to 70%. In fact, we are in a risk, 2 out of 5 risk on Tuesday. So today's the flood risk. Mondays are a little bit of a lull day. We'll still get a round of showers, but nothing like we've seen. And then Tuesday's our big day of storms because we are going to go from 91, check this out, all the way back into the 70s to near 80. And I'll have that 10-day forecast coming up. And the latest on the tropics, we are officially, yeah, it's hard to believe. We're less than a day away as we get ready to start June tomorrow for the first day of tropical season. So we'll take a look at the tropics and also another first tomorrow that you may not be aware of. Yeah, you may not be aware of it. Stay tuned.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiahAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson. Good morning, Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move. So Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun.
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living, live, weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
The First Coast News weather team is here to deliver your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather and up-to-the-minute information on First Coast News Plus.
The wave of moisture rolls its way on in here.
Our team is the most equipped and experienced to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
Just checking out our wonderful app, First Coast News, and if you give me a follow, I'd really appreciate it. So head to Mike Prangley, look for the bow tie guy. And yes, we are looking at some fun Sunday fun day storms on the way. So if you have any questions, we're on our First Coast News is live right now on our Facebook. I'm here for you. I'd love to answer any questions here in the last few minutes, but let's go to the tropics. All right, here it comes. Ready or not, tropical season begins here officially on June 1st. That's tomorrow. And right now, no tropical formation is expected. If there's anything interesting happening, though, the areas we watch right here, the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, all right, and we're watching the best chance of development in the Pacific right now, but there is some interesting things happening in the atmosphere where we're seeing some rising air in these areas. Areas that we normally watch for development are actually right now seeing some conducive conditions, and as long as we look at the rising air and the sinking air in the atmosphere. Even though right now no tropical formation is expected over the next 7 days, you look at some of the parameters we look at for development, and right now we're seeing a lot of things to watch here over the next couple of weeks. I think we're okay the first few days here in tropical season. Let's go to King Euro, and what we're looking for is low pressure. So I talked about a lot of rising air over those hotbeds of activity, the regions we watch. There's hot spots this time of year. First week, I don't see it. That's that low pressure pulling the front out and could give us some strong storms on Tuesday. But if you look into the Bay of Campeche, southern Gulf there, the southern Gulf of America, right off Central America, the Caribbean, see how we got the yellows and you got a little orange where we could have some development in the Pacific Ocean. That's the area I want to watch. Now, that's not until we get until Tuesday, June 9th, Wednesday, June 10th. But really, I've been circling that second week of June for several weeks now. Keep watching that area. Right now, I've still got that all circled on the calendar. So right now, nothing to start tropical season as far as development, but that could change the second week. Another first tomorrow. Okay, first day of tropical season, and we'll talk about this in Good Morning Jacksonville tomorrow. We start at 4:29, not 4:29. So we're ready to go. We're fired up. Earliest show on Earth, and we're going to wake up with smiles and celebrating. Yet it's the first day of meteorological summer. All right, remember, weather summer begins tomorrow, and it's based on seasonal records and climate data, not astronomy and the position of the sun and the tilt of the earth. So we'll be ready for that. And today we will be ready for those showers and storms as that weather impact alert kicks in by 2 o'clock. So if you're just joining us, we'll have an update with meteorologist Lee Southwick. That's coming up tonight, but I'm going to leave you with that 10-day forecast that shows some very active weather at least through Tuesday, and then we get ready for the refreshing breezes by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Stay safe, and I will keep you updated. Keep checking back with us.